Welcome back to the Bullfrogs pregame, joined now by Bullfrogs manager Jordan Bischel and coach. We've had 4 days off here. Let's first talk about the All-Star game. You were there. Brad Zapenis, 2 for 4, a double, couple RBIs. Scott Schebler was 1 for 1, had a hit, scored a run. And Riley Tinter had 2/3 of an inning and a strikeout. Those guys represented the Bullfrogs fairly well there in the All-Star game.
Yeah, all 4 of those guys did a nice job. Brad got the 2 guys out he faced. For Riley, Brad Schreiber came in and hit as high as 95 on the gun, which got him some publicity as high as Baseball America, which was good. And Zapenis did what he's done for us all year, which was play a great shortstop and be productive on the offensive end. Chevy had a nice base hit, got on a walk and a hit by pitch as well. So nice job by them. Represented both us well and represented their teammates well, represented the Northwoods well. Did a nice job both on the field and like they have all year. They were responsible individuals, which was good to see.
Rained out yesterday, yet another one. So another doubleheader coming here tonight. And so far this year in doubleheader ball games, we're 3-4 with that second game against Wisconsin Rapids last week being suspended. And, we've talked a couple times this year about how hard it is to win both games in a doubleheader. And we're pretty much an even club at 3-4. We're winning that other game. So that would mean if we hang on to win, it'll be set 4-4 on the year. Let's talk about playing in doubleheaders and how it changes the mentality of the game, only being 7 innings.
Yeah, you gotta really have a goal of starting fast, which we haven't been great at this year, which makes things a little bit of a challenge. You're kind of starting in the 3rd inning of a game. And it's a long night on top of it. From the time you show up at the yard, you're probably going to be there a good 8 hours plus. So, today the field is too wet for batting practice, which for both clubs is not a great thing. You had a lot of guys that haven't swung a bat in a number of days, but both teams have to deal with it. If you want to get out and start fast, always nice if you can win game 1. Obviously, it takes a little pressure off in game 2.
First time this year we're seeing lacrosse come to Green Bay. 5 games already down in lacrosse. We've been done with lacrosse with going to lacrosse for about a month. We were 3-2 down there, including 1-1 in doubleheaders. And now the final 5 games of the series will be back here at the Joe, including 2 tonight. And we'll just having 5 games against a team that's currently ahead of the standings at home here in the last 3.5 weeks of the year mean for us.
Well, obviously there's an opportunity there, but on the flip side, I guess if you don't play well, you can slip a little farther there. Year in and year out, a good club. They're well coached, and they've been playing well lately. So obviously the goal is to win the majority of those 5 games, and obviously always win as many as possible. And if you can win more than half of them, you're going to make up some ground on that team as well as some others.
Just looking at a couple of numbers, not dealing necessarily with a doubleheader, but as far as record in a series in game 1 versus game 2, 12-5 on the year in game 1, just 5-10 in game 2. Is there anything you can attribute that to, or just kind of that give and take of the league? Everyone beats somebody someday.
Yeah, I think the league is so balanced that you can kind of make stats look a lot of directions. I haven't noticed anything with that. I think it's just kind of an ebb and a flow thing. I think it's entirely possible that turns around the rest of the way, or maybe it stays the same. So I wouldn't read a lot into it. I haven't seen a lot out of our team that would make me think there's a good reason for it. Maybe just kind of dumb luck.
5 new guys to the roster here in the last week, including 3 of them now coming out of the All-Star break. And do you mind talking a little bit about those guys as well as the guys they're replacing in the roster?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a hectic time between the rain this year, with all the rain outs and the missed BPs and all of that kind of stuff. We've had a ton of roster turnover. I believe we've now had 45 different players on the roster since May 1st. A few of those guys never made it here, but that's a tremendous number of players to try to work through and balance and chemistry and all those things. The guys that left, Chris Edwards, Rob Coe, Jeff Donovan, and Bo Frazier is out now. So we've lost quite a few guys there, unfortunately. And this is a myriad of injuries. Guys wanted to get home and go back to school 100%, different reasons for their decisions. But we appreciated the effort they all gave us. Had the new catchers for a week now, Jim Pipolo and Ryan Kale, and they've done a nice job for us. They've helped us win some games and jump into a pretty tough position and not had too rough of a transition. So that's been good. And then we got 3 new guys today. Greg Blahowiak, who's a relief pitcher at UW Milwaukee. He had a nice year for them. ERA under 2. He'll drop down a little bit. Kind of a crafty little righty, just kind of a submarine type guy. So he should help us out of the bullpen. He's a Green Bay West graduate, so nice to get a local kid in here. He's very excited to be here. Dan Putnam is in town. He's the center fielder from UW-Whitewater. He'll be a senior there next year, and was their two-hitter all year and did a nice job. Hit over 350 for them, stole a bunch of bases. He'll be a nice defensive player. He'll get after it on the bases. Hopefully get on base for us all the way around. And third new player would be Mike Furlong, who's a middle infielder from Central College, a Division III school in Iowa. He's hit 400 for them in back-to-back years, so we're hopeful he can give us a little bit of a spark at the bottom of the order when he's in there.
27 games to go, 25 days to play them. And what do you think about throwing that many games in there? Only one off day, a couple of doubleheaders to go here.
You know, that's an absolute grind. A lot of work to do there. You know, hopefully these 4 days off have gotten our guys fairly healthy. They got to take care of their bodies. Other teams have similar schedules. We may have an extra game or two, but it's a similar schedule to everybody else. And you got to keep yourself healthy. You got to grind through it and try to compete every day and not take days off. And we'll see kind of how tough our guys are. It's going to be a grind.
In the morning, we're heading out to Battle Creek. And first trip out there, it's going to be a long bus ride. And I know we don't like to think ahead. You don't like to think ahead, but what's that kind of a bus ride, knowing that that's coming up, mean for these games today, knowing that guys are probably going to, kind of be stiff and stuff from a long bus ride tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think our guys think much ahead of the next inning, much less the next day, so I don't think it'll affect us a ton. These guys are young, and they ride buses and fly on planes all spring, and it's a challenge to have a 6.5, 7 hour ride, but everybody in the league does it. Battle Creek has to deal with it more than anybody. Every time they have a home game, they're coming home from a road trip, so they have just as many, and it'll be a challenge. Hopefully play good baseball today, and then we'll worry about getting them fired up for tomorrow.
I haven't seen anything yet today about who's starting for us, but you want to just go over that and what we're going to expect today?
Yeah, we're going to go Owen Jones in the first game. Obviously, Owen's done a really nice job for us, especially lately. One of our best and most consistent pitchers. Hopefully we can get a quality start out of him, and then Mike Thomas will go in game 2. Hopefully get a quality start. He's been a little bit up and down, but I think he's excited to get back out there. Had a few good innings last time before running into a little trouble in the middle of the game. So they're excited to get out there. We got a nice fresh bullpen. All our guys are rested, ready to go with the 4 days off. So hopefully we can get a couple deep starts and then close them out at the end with quality back end relievers.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck today.
Thanks, Rob.